Hey guys, Nuie here, and today I'm gonna be doing a little bit different of a talk than what I usually do. Um, this talk is gonna be more focused on what I feel are the current issues that Allods Online faces, as term in far as a game. Um, Usually I wouldn't make a video like this because typically I don't want a lot of hate from. I don't want this video to create any kind of hate or anything, or any type of negative view of Allods as a misconception. So I wouldn't typically make a video like this, but I feel like some of these issues need to be addressed, and I feel like a lot of them haven't been heard or really discussed. So I just wanted to get a video out that was gonna do that. So first thing first, I'm just gonna go through what I believe are the couple main topics that I want to cover. First will be the gameplay. Next will be kind of forum stuff. I'm gonna follow that up with the recent contests as well as finishing up with the new server and stuff. So those are the things I'm gonna cover. But starting off, gameplay. I feel like the gameplay in Allods, as far as like end game content players, can get a little bit stale. I feel like a lot of people who are at endgame kind of feel the same way. I know the new raids for me have been very interesting, especially at least the one most notable to me lately has been Battle of Gods. That raid was very fun. I enjoyed all the bosses in there. The last boss was epic. Actually, the last and third boss were absolutely epic. I love that raid. I don't know what happened with it, but apparently it seems like a little bit bugged. If anyone knows how to get in there, I would love the information, but I've had trouble getting back in lately to get videos for it, but that raid was great. However, it was really small. It was only four bosses, and then you were done. And it's always seemed like it started to seem like Allods has gotten away from what made the game so great, which was when you used to do raids, you used to get like meaningful loot. Because back when you used to do raids, you used to get not only just costumes and not just gearing pieces like you do now. You also used to get relics, and relics were awesome because they helped you develop your character. They helped augment different skills. The whole relic system was just kind of great to me. That was the portion of the time that Allods seemed like it was at its best. It had a lot of diversity in its Allods. It had a lot of diversity in its gameplay mechanics. There was always a new challenge when it came to running Astral because there was all these buffs that you had to be aware of and you had to learn. The gameplay felt so much. I don't want to say better because the gameplay itself, like the improvements they made between 8.1, I just want to say are really nice. Like I like the aesthetic improvements. I like the class changes, even though some of them are a little bit wanky. I like where they're trying to do it with constantly developing their classes. What I don't like is that they seem to be taking away from the actual fun of the game, which is exploring astrals and exploration, and everything that sort of drew in players is starting to like kind of dissipate and become this more of like constant routine of just running raids and running astrals and getting the same gear and then just increasing the level of it, which was way less interesting than actually crafting your own gear and being able to craft your own gear and craft your own sort of setup, and then running Allods not just for gearing but for like the purpose of getting upgrade materials, seeing yourself get stronger, and like you still have that feeling of getting stronger, but it's just kind of it feels so much different now. If you're a new player, this might not entirely make sense because you haven't really played in the previous patches, but for new players, I'll get to you guys later. But going forward, that's how I feel the gameplay is at currently, and I feel like the Allieds team has so much at their disposal because of their huge amount of history. We are on the 8.1 patch, or yeah, 8.1. So we have like 7 other patches of other stuff that they could bring back. And I feel like they're just not doing it for whatever reason. They haven't really stated their goals or anything. I'm on the forum. I'm on the forum every single day. Even if I'm not online in Allods every single day, I'm on the forum every single day. It's one of my routines. In the morning, I go through and I go check the forum and see what else is new. But I know a lot of players don't do this, and I know a lot of players in general don't even look at the forum half the time. So they're kind of missing some stuff. And Allies does do a good job of getting out the most recent news on when you on the login screen when you log into the game, but there's still kind of disincentive to the actual forum itself. But I feel like if Allods wants to improve the gameplay, what they should do is just kind of make a kind of open room for players to be able to get out their thoughts and come together and create a better kind of future forward going forward with the game. Like some of my thoughts. Why not bring back all the old Astrals? Like the observatory is kind of like the opening step to that. Like I feel like maybe upcoming patches they're gonna bring back all these old Allods through the observatory because the observatory's. I'm sorry for spoilers, guys. The observatory's story is bringing back all these old bosses and old raids and old stuff. So why not just bring back all the old astrals? There's tons of astral layers. Just bring them back. That'll give the game so much more diversity because then you'll have all of these different allods to constantly go through. It's not just the same string of like 8 allods. It'll be like 30, 40 allods. I know it seems like a daunting task to bring back all those allods, but you already have the data for them, so why not just bring them back? Some of my favorite allods I've never gotten to play again because they just don't exist anymore in terms of the new allods content. And it's not like you couldn't bring them back into this iteration. Like the same mechanics can still apply, the same gameplay can still be there, and those outlets can be brought back. They can even be tweaked just minorly, just to have some cooler fights and cooler stuff, and just even more story driven in terms of how they're appearing and stuff. Like there's a nice amount of gameplay that's out there. Also, with the shrinking of raids, which have gone from 24 to 12, it's good and it's bad. It's good because it means like you can get more raids out. They're allowing you to pug raids now, so you can get a lot more raids done in a week. As far as instead of having to have 24 people on or 18 people on, mandatory to be able to get a raid done. But that kind of takes away from the MMO genre. The MMO genre is all about these monstrous raids with these huge bosses and these epic boss fights, and they kind of dumbed that down a little bit because they went these smaller raids which still have great bosses. Don't get me wrong, the bosses have been great. Like every single boss they released lately has been great, but it's just like it feels so much smaller scale than going into Eclipse for the first time. And, well, I won't even say going into Eclipse for the first time because that wasn't my first raiding experience. My first raiding experience was going in 24-man into GT. That was epic. Like going in and seeing Starn for the first time in his spider form was incredible. Going in and seeing Kazul for the first time, incredible. All those bosses just had such a huge feeling, and then there was so much cooperation needed between players that it felt incredible. That's the feeling I feel is starting to fade away with Allods a little bit. I'm not saying I don't want to keep playing Allods. I'm not saying I'm planning on stopping at playing Allods anytime soon. I'm just saying this is the kind of things, and these are the kind of effects that I wish I still felt when I played this game, and it's kind of dumbed down a little bit. But heading forward, the next thing I wanted to cover was like the forum and stuff. I feel like the mods do a decent job of talking to players, but I also feel like a lot of players feel kind of unheard. Especially, I don't know how the Russian server is or anything like that. I don't typically play on the Russian server. I don't even go over there. But I know that a lot of people on the NA server in general just kind of feel left out. They feel like the devs don't listen to us. We don't have moderators that we really like. Like Pio Pico. Pio Pico was a great NA mod. We loved him all pretty much as a community. He was great. He was always around. You could pretty much hit him up anytime. He was on in game a lot sometimes, and just on his character, not his like actual character, but his like moderated character, I can say, just hanging out and kind of talking to players. And I feel like that's completely non-existent now. I know he was with Potato and stuff, so it's not really possible to bring him back. But like he's a great example of what a lot of Allods players are used to, especially longtime Allods players are used to when it comes to how they want to be treated in terms of this game. And I feel like, to be fair, I feel like according to how they feel is pretty accurate. Like I feel like, I mean, sometimes we go unheard, sometimes we just aren't getting a lot of representation, and sometimes it's just we aren't really hearing things from people. And it feels like we're getting snubbed a little bit. Like with the most recent thing I can think of is they didn't release the 8.1 patch notes for us. They released the 8.1 patch notes in Russian, so if you went to the Russian server, you could find the patch notes and then drag them over. But they didn't actively release the patch notes, so we didn't get any chance to read up on that or look into what was really getting changed. And we had to kind of figure it out in the game. It's not too bad. It's like not a huge issue, but it's just kind of weird. And then we have random, and then we've had things like random scheduled maintenance, random maintenances. So but they don't really tell us what they're for, or they just kind of take the game down and then come back up. So I feel like there's a little bit of miscommunication between all of us, and I feel like if Allods dev team really gets onto it and starts easing it out, they'll start evening out some players. Now, hopping into the new players aspect of this, of that side of this, new players, it's great. Like you guys seem. I've talked to a whole bunch of new players. You guys have messaged me in game. I've talked to a whole bunch of players just in general. People have just been messaging me in game, which is awesome. I don't mind you guys sending me messages in game, either Nuie, Killa, Critical Fear, any of my characters. I don't mind sending messages. Like I'll just read them. It doesn't bother me or anything. So, but like I've gotten like a couple mixed feelings from new players. Some new players don't really know where to go. Aren't really sure with how to progress their characters or how to really catch up in terms of things, because we have a pretty hefty cash up. I'm not gonna even lie and say that it's not like a little bit pay to win, but it's different than normal pay to win. It's not like unachievable. It's like it's there for you, and if you invest in time, you can easily catch up. It's just you have to know what you're really gonna be focused on when it comes to catching up, and that's I'll get more to that in towards the end of what I'm gonna be doing with the new patch. But yeah, it's like it feels like a very very daunting task for new players to look at not only max level characters but all the cash shop they have and all the things they have. Like Penance and High Roller, I've talked to both of them personally. Like I messaged them in game. They're both on my friends list. They're cool people. They're great at the game. They understand the game. They wanted to firmly develop their characters, and Allods they gave them a route to do that between runes, cash up items, vanity items, just a ton of stuff just to constantly improve their characters. But these characters, to be fair, and you guys can't even lie because I know you guys are like aware of my channel. I know you guys can't even lie and say that you guys are not scary to newer players. Like if you go into PvP and you see one of them, now normal players who have been playing for a while will understand what it takes to actually kill these players, the cooperation it can take, there's just being able to CC them or just being able to really focus them down. Don't go at them one at a time, just be able to cooperate. This is all great, but newer players won't know that. They'll just see the name and just be like, well, I'm in PvP, I'll just go for it and get one shot. And that kind of makes it very difficult for new players to want to play the game, because it's just like, well, shit, do I suck this much, or what's going on? And then there's not a lot of help afterwards which tells you what's going on. There's no like after game damage screen or anything like that. It's just you're at the bottom of the list, and then a lot of times you end up just getting kicked. This is it's kind of a negative impact, but it's like sometimes it's understandable. Some people literally just go there and go to battlegrounds, they sign up for battlegrounds, and then they just AFK. The literally purpose of this is just, okay, I AFK'd, I'll get the loot, I'm gonna go do some other shit. I understand kicking people like that. That's annoying. That doesn't make any sense at all. That takes away from the fun, and it puts your team at a disadvantage. Why are you doing that? But for people who are like new and they have low gear score and stuff, and then they come in and then they get kicked and they don't really understand why, because they don't really have a solid grasp of their characters yet, and they're trying to learn, but people are kicking them, and then they're just kind of there. It makes it a little bit difficult. So I'd hope to say that like we could stop that, or even just kind of minimize it, or even help people. But I also think that it's a job as a new player. You guys should be on the forum, because the forum has a huge amount of help. the forum has a huge amount of information, and the forum has a huge amount of build guides, stat guides, whatever you need to find for information. Um, and two, in game, when you ask someone like for help, don't just one. There's gold spammers. Okay, so a lot of us are used to gold spammers and people who are just like, well, can you give me gold for this? Can you give me gold for this? So we get a little bit weary of people asking us things. But a lot of players in general will, if you just ask them a specified class question, then they'll probably answer it. They'll probably give you some kind of guidance on it, some kind of way forward where you'll be able to get an improvement. And you guys need to be aware of that as new players. Um, Next on that, I just wanted to hop onto the forum and show you guys some of the new contests, which I think are a nice step. It's starting to get that feeling where the Allods team is actually trying to communicate with us and get that vibe from us of where we're at and what we think about the new server that's come out, which is Equilibrium. So the couple, they've already announced the first two challenges. The first one was the June video creation. It's basically like a leveling video of a montage of just things you're doing in Allods. I'm up on the page right now, so you can pretty much read through and see everything. There's a lot of kind of small rules with it. And if you go to YouTube and just kind of Google the hashtag AO June Challenge 2017, you'll come up with a couple of videos. But there's not a huge amount of people invested in these videos. As you can see, I already made a video. It's got quite a few views. These people have also made videos. I like their videos. I've seen all their videos. I've checked them out, and I think they're great. I like this kind of aspect of players getting in and getting competitive outside of game, but also showing off the game. So that's what's great to me. So these are kind of cool challenges. The next one will be a kind of new beginnings challenge and talking to newer players. So I'm definitely going to be in tune with that one. I'm definitely going to have another guide out for you guys, and I'm definitely going to have I'm going to have an entry for this. But this is the side I want to show that's good at. I like where they're going with this. I like these kind of things. These contests are great. They have pretty good prizes, like 5,000 premium crystals and 4,000 platinum coins. Isn't a lot to like a cash player, but like to a new player, this is cool, man. Like 5,000 premium crystals can get you a lot. You can get a lot of different cash things. You can get a lot of different things to improve your character. You can get a lot with 5,000 premium crystals. So and 4 platinum coins is, I mean, it's always cool. There's a ton of vanity items that out there in the game, so being able to get platinum coins is great. So, you know, I like this. I like what they're doing here, but I don't like that it's only focused on the new server. I feel like they're starting to make this split in gamers between the old server and the new server, and to be honest, they just need to be like more understanding of the gamers themselves, and so that we stop losing a player base. Like the player base is starting to decline a little bit, and I want it to regrow to back. I know it won't get all the way back because I know just a lot of players. I know a ton of players who have just quit, but I just want to get it back to the point where it's like Allods is actually a MMO that people want to talk about and want to play and want to enjoy. Like, but I feel like, one, the cash shop is huge. The cash shop turns down a lot of players, takes away a lot of the player base, even though it's not so bad. And I'm going to be discussing that in that's what my July challenge will be. I will be discussing different cash shops and how to advance your characters as a starting player. That's what I'm going to cover for you guys. But like, I feel like there's just a lot of discontent right now, and I want to get this video out to address all of that. So these are just my thoughts, and my thoughts on how they could progress and how they could increase increase the player base, and how they could just change things a little bit, but not too much, but still to bring back that kind of wow factor from this game. These are my thoughts. I'm gonna post this video up when it'll come out tomorrow, which is June 26th, and I'm going to post this video also up on the forums for Allods. So if you guys have any thoughts or anything on this, please be sure to comment on the videos below. Just kind of tell me your thoughts. I hope that if enough players see this and enough shares of this go around, that it'll get to the dev team and they'll be able to see it and hear my thoughts and maybe even email me and talk to me. I know you guys have my email because I've emailed you, so it's also linked to my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to talk, if the dev team will just go to my YouTube channel and you go to my page, you guys can get my email and then just message me and we can talk. And I feel like I can just kind of help voice the opinions of people. Like, that's kind of the point of my YouTube channel. I wanted to get Allods out there, but I also want to remind the devs of the fact that I'm a player. I am looking for the entertainment value. I enjoy Allods just in general, but like, if I don't keep getting that wow factor, then there's so many other MMOs, and it's just like, it's hard to keep playing one MMO when there's other MMOs, and this MMO just stops bringing you the enjoyment factor. So like, I really would love to talk to you guys. I'd love to talk to players. I'd love and get your thoughts. I'd love to talk to the devs and get your guys' thoughts. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. These are just my thoughts. So I'll catch you guys all in July with that next video, because I won't release it until July. But I've got a bunch of videos ready for this week, and I hope you guys are enjoying my channel and everything that I do. So I will catch you guys later.
Heaven sent my residence, it's every day just visiting, blending.